Ladies and gentlemen, back here on the Dirty Pat Walsh channel on YouTube with me, your host, Dirty Pat Walsh, packing a little snuff of the peach tobacco blend variety. Sent to me by the Georgia Peach herself, Michelle herself. So let me tell you, man, okay, I'm the kind of guy, I have like boxes of shit, right? Boxes of books, tapes, records, CDs, all kinds of shit. Writing. I don't, like I said in my vlog this morning, I'm a horrible archivist. I'm a huge archivist, but I'm not very organized. And I have stuff all over the place. And every now and then I'll kind of like pick a corner of that stuff, like my old flyers, and see what I was doing 20, 30 years ago, or look at my old play scripts from the 90s or stuff like that. But today I've been going through old cassette tapes, and man, I've been finding some crazy stuff. Like, I'm kind of looking for, like, going through I have miles and miles of punk rock mixtapes and unlabeled tapes with, like, the Bad Brains and Adrenaline OD on them and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to find is my body of work, so I can kind of put it in one place. And, I've been finding some interesting stuff. I found, I'm going to try to do something with this, not just play it on the tape machine here, but I found an old, now, I often plump up my buddy Lotus White, plays in Cheecham, Lotus and Son. They're an old-time fiddle banjo band. Sam Lotus White plays banjo. Tayar, the Cheecham, he plays harmonica. He's a fucking amazing harmonica player. Holy fuck. I'm not surprised he has my job now. Let me tell you that. And plays like the Bones and Hambone, and they all sing, and plays the fiddle. He's a fucking amazing fiddler too, man. And my old friend Brian plays, he's the son, Santa's son. He plays the sousaphone. And they have an old time fiddle banjo act they tour around the world with. They do amazing stuff. And back when Sam first moved to Peterborough, and he was kind of just getting his grips on, like, he'd played stand-up bass in a square dance band or a contour dance band, I guess he called them, called Flapjack. He played with them for years, so he's very well versed in the old styles and stuff. But he was kind of starting off on a solo career as a clawhammer banjo player named Lotus White from Huntsville, Alabama. That was his mythology. And man, I tell you, this guy, I can't think of a better performer. I played with amazing people. You sound like Donald Trump. Tremendous people, amazing people. It's true. I've been very lucky to have the musicians in my life that I do. I've played with some phenomenal people who've gone on to do some amazing things. So I'm very grateful for that. But I found a whole tape of me and Sam, just me and Sam, rehearsing in his studio just around the corner from where I live. He's teaching me a bunch of tunes to play with. We had a little band called Lotus White and the Ways of the World. It was me on harmonica and Sam, of course, was Lotus White on banjo, singing. A fellow named Fiddlin' Jay. I don't know his last name. I just know him as Fiddlin' Jay. He's been around Peterborough for years, on fiddle, of course. And a fellow named Diamond Dave Russell on stand-up bass. And all these musicians are fucking top shelf, top, amazing. Couldn't play with better people, amazing, And it's funny, because listening to these, this old rehearsal tape, it's a lot of shit. Some of it, I really see my shortcomings as a player. Like I try to look at my playing very critically right now, and in a constructive way. I really see my shortcomings as a player, but also at the same time, I'm playing a lot of stuff. I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? That was really good. So I feel like I've lost some of my body memory over the years or something. I don't know. It was a long time ago when we did that, but anyhow, it's been really neat. So I'm going to try to do something with it because it all sounds like it's all recorded on like a shoebox tape recorder, right? So it all sounds like it's like fucking 78 record from 1930. So I'm going to try to make it sound more like that and do something cool with it. But one thing I found, no, I don't know if anybody finds this interesting to me, but I've been a songwriter for a long time. A lot of what I do now is really blues oriented, because that's what I want to pursue, is more of a bluesy thing. But back in the day, as they say, back in the 1990, late 80s, I've always been a punk rocker, right? I've always been in the punk rock scene ever since I was 11 years old, and so I also wanted to do that. I wanted to be a punk rock musician, so that's been my lifelong mission, kind of mashing those two worlds together in ways that haven't been done before, but that's kind of hard because they're both minimal styles of music. But anyway, I digress. But yeah. So anyhow, I found this tape. I found a tape that predates my time in Peterborough. I wrote a song. This is back when I still lived in the Toronto area. Well, I live in Oakville, but I was hanging out in Toronto a lot. And I wrote a song called All the Punks on Queen Street. And so I'm going to try to line that up. But but one thing, I find a lot of my old punk tapes. Like I found a friend of mine, Mark Davidson. He's a singer, a hardcore punk singer in a band called Stand Against Fear. He's been an institution in the scene in my area since I was a fucking kid, and he's about my age. And he used to sing with his band called The Brute Creation, and I found a copy of a bootleg I made of The Brute Creation in this band that went on to be quite famous called Negative Gain, who were from my town of Oakville. They're on the other side. So I'm gonna, if he gives me his address and sends me some postage, I'm gonna send that off to him because I know it would be I know I would want that in my archive if somebody had a bootleg of me from the 80s, Anyhow, I wrote this song in the 80s called All the Punks on Queen Street. All right, I got it queued up. So yeah, this fucking predates my time in Peterborough. This is a song I probably would have written around 1988, I think. Played in my bedroom on Elmwood Crescent in Oakville, Ontario, where I used to drink and pee out the window and sit and record songs. But yeah, so this is a song, I don't know how it'll translate, but a song I wrote when I was 18 years old called All the Punks on Queen Street. And this is before I was a blues musician. This is before I knew really had figured out anything solvent about blues music. So, other than a little bit of harmonic playing. But anyway, here we go. All the punks on Queen Street folks in the donut shop are acting quite deranged.
My friend tells me it's alright, things are okay back at home. Trip over my shoelace as I hang up the phone. There's a definite division between
right. So that's a fucking tune I wrote 30 years ago and wrote and recorded even before I lived in Peterborough. So, yeah, I hope it came out okay. I guess I'll find out when I edit the video. But, yeah. So, I don't know. I got more weird tape action to come if anybody's interested. If you're interested in hearing more of my old bands from 20, 25 years ago, leave it in the comments because I can dig up more shit. And if you don't want to hear it, well, you can tell me it sucks and I'll probably do it anyway. But all right, be well, stay free, and I'll have more coming at you sometime soon. Take care.